Guess the voice break counter, by the way.
Yeah.
So many. We get so dehydrated, and then it's just.
Oh yeah, I brought my water bottle.
It's game over. That is huge, by the way.
It's the best thing ever.
What is that?
It's like a Stanley tube.
If I say, I'm gonna fill up my. No, sorry. If I say tumbler,
Yeah.
what do you think when I say the word tumbler?
When you say the word, it's like pretty girl on the beach, long blonde hair.
See, I thought that, but a tumbler is actually a different type of water bottle. Something similar to that.
Really?
Because
Wow.
I was working with a woman the other day, and I said, "Oh, that's a really cool water bottle," and she got offended. She was like, "Excuse me?"
Really?
So that's my tumbler. It was just.
Have you seen the meme of the guy like he grabs a bin and he's like girls with their water bottle?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
grabs a bin.
Yeah, that is
Girls-
massive. Do you have to have like a different type of cup holder in your car?
It fits perfect because this thing.
They've designed that like that. That's genius.
Yeah.
I
so
respect it.
good.
Surely that weighs you down a bit throughout the day.
No, it doesn't. I drink 3 of those because at 1 litre.
Wow. See, I get roasted all the time because I just carry one of these around, and I
That's a
should.
boy thing.
It is definitely a boy thing. I should be better, but I've got 2 of them actually. Are they out of the frame?
I filled up a prime bottle.
That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, that's going to be the start of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll introduce.
So, welcome back to the P&C Lads podcast. We're here. We're in a disclosed location. We won't tell you. But we've got another guest on, Ev.
We do.
Because audio listeners, they don't know what's happening right now. They think it's just you and I.
That's well.
Unless they read the
she's
title.
been talking.
That's true as well, yeah. We have Kia Buckley, potentially my long-lost cousin. We have the same last name.
When I
No.
We do have the same,
Yeah,
same last
literally.
name. Spelled
I
the
thought
exact
Should
you
we
same.
work
guys
it
were
out?
related.
So I
Wow.
posted on my story saying, "Oh, we're having Kia on the show, blah blah blah," and people were saying, "How did I not know you had a cousin? How did I not know she was your cousin?" And I say, "Don't know, bro.
We
Don't know.
probably are.
Thought we were closer than that, but I think there's quite a few Buckleys out there. No?
There is.
Really?
There is.
I've only known Nathan Buckley. That's the only other Buckley I've heard of.
Are you talking about the footy player?
The footy player.
Dill Buckley, the other podcaster. He played
Oh.
footy
He
as
plays
well.
footy too.
There's a couple.
How
Maybe
good's
you're all
having the last
cousins.
name Buckley though?
I used to actually not be a fan, but then
Really?
as I've gotten older, I've embraced it. But also my mates refer to me as Buckley. I feel like that doesn't happen with girls, does it? No one
For
calls
my
you
footy,
Bucks.
I used to be called Bucks, and I hated it.
She used to play footy.
Yeah, that's
That's lit.
Wow,
yeah,
we're
I used to
learning
play-
things.
There you
Yeah,
go. We
high
should-
level.
We should introduce you.
Yeah.
quickly, though, what you do. So
Kia
Yeah.
Buckley.
Kia Buckley, you own a gym brand, I guess, like
Yep.
clothing brand.
Yep.
Called Kikiva.
Yep.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you are. Well done. Everyone always is like, at the start, but yeah, Kikiva.
Confidence. Nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to tell the people a
Yeah.
little bit about what you do?
So hi
You are.
guys, my name's Kia, and I own a sustainable activewear brand here in Perth. I'm 21. I'm from Esperance, a small town down south.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Neither.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I moved
Learning.
up on my own when I was 15 to pursue my footy career. And then that didn't work out for me, so that's what got me into my business now.
That's actually really interesting.
That's
So
crazy,
you
yeah.
left Esperance to pursue
Yeah.
AFL footy,
Yep.
which at the time, 6 years ago, 4 years ago,
Yeah.
was AFL women's
It was
established?
it was just taking off, and like anyone that knows me personally, I'm an extremely competitive and sporty person, and I come up for one weekend when I was in year 11, and I played a footy game, and there was like happened to be state scouts watching. They're like, "Oh, who's this girl?" You know, called my dad, and they were like, "If you move, we'll put her in the state team." Dad called me next day. He goes, "You're moving," and I was like, "All right." And I moved my whole life on my own. I
Yeah.
lived on my own. I worked 3 jobs.
No, that's unprofessional.
No, it's fine. It happens. It happens. I was in a
Probably
meeting
my
the
new
other
job
day.
too.
Oh, no. Anyway, sorry
Yeah.
for that.
No, it's fine. I might put mine on charge thing too.
Continue.
Now I lost my train of thought. I moved up, and then I've been living alone ever since, and I pursued footy.
Yeah.
And then I just ended up not really enjoying it. It can be a very cliquey community. And then that led me into starting my own brand. And honestly, everything happens for a reason. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah, now I'm full-time, and I've fully employed my mom, and yeah.
That is really crazy. I did not expect that.
one
I had
does.
not even heard of that you played footy. What position did you play?
I was a key forward.
I was going to say, because you've got you are quite tall.
Yeah, how tall
Yeah.
are you?
Oh, I don't know, 170 centimeters maybe?
Oh, that's not even that crazy tall.
Am
Five-
I?
like- that's like
I don't even
five-
know. I'm like around there.
Well, 6
100
foot's 183.
I don't know.
5'8", 5'9", something
Yeah.
like that. But you were just clunking him in the forward line.
Yeah,
I
like
love that.
I used to like take it so seriously. Well, I played for Subiaco and then I also played state and then I dislocated my shoulder twice and then
Did you get popped in right like when you did it as well?
yeah, worst ever. And then a
that's
few
pain.
things happened around and then I was like, I'm just going to give it a break and pursue my business. And honestly, it was just amazing. I'm so glad I did that.
So obviously you went through high school in Esperance as well?
Yeah, and then I moved in year 11
Okay.
to Perth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what school did you go to for year 12?
I went to Kent Street. Don't know if you
Oh,
guys know
yeah.
it. It's just like a
Yeah,
small
like-
school. When I moved up, I moved like in the Vic Park area. I didn't even know. I had been to Perth twice before I had moved up into the city on my own. I just went to like the nearest school. Honestly, I did not make any friends there. I just went to school and then played footy.
So you said you live by yourself?
Yeah. So I lived with my brother to start with, and then they moved back home. And then I was like, nah, I'm not moving home. Like, I love it here.
Yeah.
Moved into a rental room at 16. I worked 3 jobs, Domino's, cleaning and umpiring. And I just financed myself. I come from a really big family of 12, so my parents were just not in a financial position to support me,
Yeah.
which honestly I'm so grateful for that because I work so freaking hard and I've learnt the value of money. So, yeah.
I always think like in big families, like, can't speak for yours, but you see some kids who thrive with like no support and they say like, no one's going to do anything for me. I've got to get it done myself. And then others who like really desire that support. But you're obviously one of those people who thought anything that's going to get done, it's going to be because of me.
Yeah, I used to like ride my moped. I had a little moped in Perth. Can you believe that? I got stuck on the freeway one time. And like I used to ride home on my bike at midnight from umpiring. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was just like so normal. But then I look back at it, I'm like, oh my God, I would never let my child do that.
Yeah.
But
Did you do ATAR?
no, I dropped out.
Yeah.
I
In year 12?
in halfway through year 11, I was just finding it too hard. Like, going home and your mum has a cooked meal. Like, I'd go home and I have to do everything myself. And like on top of ATAR, it was just so mentally draining.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like ATAR was cooked. I failed that like literally failed so bad.
Honestly, they push it so much, and honestly, you do not need it unless you want to become like a doctor or like something that you need ATAR. I still went to uni.
Yeah, I'm at uni now and I've literally failed. Honestly, I mean, I shouldn't say don't go to uni, but...
Yeah, well, you did ATAR, failed, went to uni. Yeah. I did one ATAR, so it didn't even count. And I went to uni and I've graduated since. Like,
literally.
it's such a stressful pathway for kids who, like, I was an awful student in terms of, like, the way I would write and just learn. But then once I got to uni, I really knuckled down. I was a bit more mature and I learned how to write. And I just was a lot more street smart as well. And that helped me. I feel like people aren't mature in year... I'm not going to speak for everyone, I should say, but for myself, I was nowhere near the same person as I was when I started uni.
Same. When I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I've learned so much, or just like everything.
If you don't look back at yourself and like cringe at yourself, I feel like then you're doing something wrong.
Literally.
Because I look back at even just like 2 years ago, I'm like, damn, what an idiot.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm
Idiot,
the same. My first ever collection I did with my business, I was like, I can't believe I even did that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
There's just so much growth. So, yeah.
You mentioned you have a family of 12.
Yeah.
So 10 siblings, I presume?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, mum and dad, and then I've got 10 kids. I don't have 10 kids.
21, 10
Not
kids.
happening.
Something's going wrong.
And I have 9 brothers and sisters.
That's crazy. What was that like growing up, obviously, with having so many siblings? Whereabouts are you middle? Or?
Yeah, I got 3 underneath me, 6 above me. Wait, does that make sense?
What,
yeah.
Who's the... sorry, what's the eldest age?
Oldest is 32 and the youngest is 16.
Wow.
Okay. And
you're
21.
all relatively...
I'm 21.
Same age. Are you guys close now still or not?
Well, thing is, I moved at such a young age, so I never really grew up with my little sisters. You know, you don't really remember from like 5 and stuff.
Yeah,
so like
100%.
I definitely got distance to like my siblings living up here, but I'm say we're all pretty close. Like my mum's my best friend, my dad's my best friend. My sister now lives with me. Like, yeah, I'm pretty close with them, I'd say.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Obviously, you live in Perth now, but do you ever go back to Esperance firstly? or no?
Sorry, I have this like weird thing with it. I don't know. Like I go back, but I can't go for long. I don't know, because like I would say I wasn't the best version of myself when I lived there, and like going back, I'm like, I don't know. And also small town, it's like small town syndrome vibes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Well, we feel it in Perth because we're from here.
Yeah, you would.
So this would feel like the big city to you type of.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, literally. Right now, I'm like, oh, I would like even move away from Perth. Like I've been here now for 4 years. I couldn't imagine growing up somewhere and, you know, like you just know everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Perth is
Small.
tiny. And it's crazy. There's like, 2.5 million people in Perth.
But you know everyone,
Everyone
I feel.
knows everyone. and it's
Literally.
Like, what?
I feel like you're kind of blessed in the fact that maybe when you were in Esperance, you were like, why do I have to like grow up here? There's no one's really doing anything. It's so small. But then to only, how far away is Esperance? Is it like?
It's 8 to 10 hour drive.
Yeah. So
8 kilometers.
like choosing to move to Perth, was that like, okay, this is where I can really do something for myself?
I actually didn't want to.
Wow,
I cried for the first month and I was blaming my dad. You ruined my life.
Yeah.
All I cared about was drinking boys.
Yeah.
I was literally like just every other teenager. I couldn't care less. I didn't want to, but then something just clicked in me and I'm like, I went back actually. You know, I flew down for a party. Down for a party.
Yeah. When was that?
That was probably like 6 months into me living in Perth. I had like real big FOMO. I seen all my friends going out getting drunk. I was like, stuff it, I'm going to fly home. So I flew home for a party. I got back to Perth. I was like, what am I doing? Like here is just so much better. And the thing is like, at the time I loved living in Esperance, but it was honestly the biggest blessing in disguise. I would not be the person I am today if I didn't leave. Yeah, which is so interesting.
Have a lot of your siblings left Esperance?
Yeah, majority of them have left or gone back, or some still live there. It's at 50-50 at the moment. Yeah. But some people are made to just live in a small town.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
You know,
they love it. Yeah. They don't want anything more from life than to be a part of that community. There's a sense of community there.
Yeah.
And they just enjoy what that place has to offer.
And acknowledging that, I've definitely acknowledged that not everyone wants to live in a big city. Like I'm like, how could you live there? But it's like, you know what, they just don't want that, and that's so okay. Like I went through a time where I was like, how could you do like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I've just like grown up a bit and I've acknowledged, you know what, everyone wants different things in life. So yeah.
So you said you left halfway through year 11 and that was mainly to support yourself.
Yeah. Oh no, I finished school.
You finished school, sorry.
I finished school.
Yeah.
And I worked 3 jobs around school, but my attendance was like 60%.
Okay.
So what was your school life?
There's
what was the school life like being back up here? Obviously, you said you didn't know anyone and like you couldn't make friends or didn't make friends.
My whole mindset changed, and I didn't go to school to make friends. I didn't go to school to anything but to get that certificate of graduation. I was friends with the teachers. I was literally friends with the teachers. I was like that person that would just sit alone, and I'd actually walk home. My teachers was so good. They knew I lived alone, and I'll just leave at lunchtime and they would just like put a side eye to it. I just went there simply to get that certificate and nothing else. And I think, I just skimmed past because I would never be at school because general was quite, I would say easy in terms of like the workload for me going from ATA.
Yeah.
So, I just did it at home and worked all the other times, which is really bad. I don't recommend.
Yeah.
But,
School's such a small part of your life. And they make it out to be the biggest thing ever. And
literally.
It just isn't. Like some of the most successful people of all time literally didn't even finish year 12. It's like,
literally. I couldn't agree with that so much. Yeah.
So what was that first idea or moment that sparked like, Kikiva could be a thing, or like what made you even want to pursue anything like that?
So my mum got sick about 6 years ago, really, really bad, and she couldn't work, and money was really hard to come by. And I remember like saying to my friend, like, oh my God, it's my life goal to like financially just employ my mum, give her the life she wants. And I remember I'm like, I'm never going to be able to do that if I'm working for someone else, right? And then at the time, I also couldn't afford much myself. I was obsessed with the gym. As I said, I was a very sporty person, and activewear is so expensive. It's like $150 for a pair of tights. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So I was at school and I was doing a business course, like one of the general classes, and I did that as a topic. And I started researching, and I found out that these brands, multi-million-dollar brands, are buying leggings for, let's just say, this is an example, $15, selling it for $150. That just blew my mind.
Yes. The profit margin's insane.
Insane, right? And I'm like, okay, what if I could come out with my own brand, still the same quality, but sell it for half the price? And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to have a big profit margin, but imagine if I sold thousands and thousands of units. And then that's what I did. And then I told my story, and everyone was like, oh my God. And it just blew up.
Really supported you.
Yeah, I remember, I think like when you messaged me to DJ, and then, because I followed you, and then I was like, I've just kind of been, I'm not a girl, so I'm not buying
no, fair
stuff,
enough.
but I'm sitting back and I'm like, I just keep seeing you almost just like getting wins after wins.
Literally.
And like, it's so sick to see. But then, so when did you actually like establish Kikiva, like the start? Because year 11 you were
I registered my business in 2020. I think I registered my business name. I worked on it for almost 2 years. Every day after my part-time jobs, I saved up $10,000, which was literally like $1 million to me back then. Like,
a lot of
especially to reinvest it into yourself.
And like, I lived alone, like, and I literally just worked so much. I said, I'm just gonna give it a go. I did it. I sold out. It was insane. And then after 6 months, we hit first 6 figures. And then it just kept on growing then. And then 1 year later, we hit 7 figures. And now here, which is insane. Yeah.
That's elite.
I think like activewear is such a big thing because whenever I go to the gym, I always look around. And if I'm wearing Gymshark, for example, I love the brand. I love Gymshark. But I look around and I think almost every bloke, I think there's potentially 5 blokes wearing the same t-shirt as me. But then like the other 30 blokes that are in the gym are wearing the same brand. And like, I feel like that's where the gap in the market probably was for you. People are always looking for something fresh to support. And when there's a story behind it and someone they can...
And
like
local.
There's a... Your face and your personality and yourself as a person is connected to the brand so much where people just want to support you and want to hop on that. So it's just... It's insane to see.
It's so weird. Like, I never ever thought anything of it. Like, I was just like, I just want to do something. And the whole urge was like also to pay for everything for my mum because she needed like a lot of medical stuff. And then also to be able to make girls feel so confident and people that couldn't afford it, like myself. Like, it was so frustrating. And that's kind of just like where it all came from. And I just went for it. Like, I would change so much if I was to start another business of how much I've learnt.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
But then you wouldn't have learnt that. That's
I
the
would
thing.
I've made some mistakes.
But I think if you speak to every business owner, they failed so many times before. There were so many like mess ups in the process, and that's how you learn and do better for potentially another business that you make in the future.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna talk to you about like because obviously you market Kikiva just from what I've seen, it's just strictly social media. Like you're not. Actually, no, I think I might have saw. Did you have a billboard or am I tripping?
No, I didn't, but I've done stuff similar.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole brand is pretty much like you're the marketing, like that's where it starts. It starts it's like you. You and the brand are like separate, but I think like you've found a really good balance with like the brand is you, but it's also its separate entity. Was that something you planned or was it just that's the way it fell?
That's the way it fell, but I love what I do so much. I want to be the face of it.
Yeah.
Like I get goosebumps when I went for a bike ride yesterday and my partner was a little bit behind me. I rode past a girl. She goes, oh, that's the Kikiva girl. And then Jake heard. So he's like, Kia, like I love it. Like, and like, it's what I want to do. And but there comes downfalls with it. I've got to watch what I do so carefully. I can't just go to the club and, you you got to be really careful. Like if I stuff up, it stuffs my business up because I'm aligned to Kikiva.
Yeah.
So it's when you put a face to a brand, people trust that. So they look at me and they can trust me that it's going to be good. Whereas if Kikiva didn't have a face, it would be very hard to trust the brand.
Yeah, it's also like people probably like you, your personality, you as a person, and then it's like, oh, I want to support what she does.
Yeah, like it all interlinks together. And I think having my face as the brand has been the best decision. Yeah.
What was that? You said you spoke about that little encounter with the girl on the bike. What was the first moment? Can you describe us when you saw someone wearing?
I remember exactly. Clothes? So it was about 6 months down the track. Like my business wasn't taking off really at all, and I went to a footy game, and this girl in front of me was wearing a Kiva hoodie, and I freaked out. I went up to her. I was like, oh my God, I like your hoodie. I didn't really say much, but I see it every day. I see it at the gym now. Yeah. It's so bizarre. I went to Yochi last night. Girls are asking for photos. It's so weird, man. I'm like, really? Actually, funny story. I was with my mum, and my mum didn't believe me. I was like, Mum, just letting you know, she gets very anxious. So I was like, Mum, just letting you know, people ask photos or looking or whatever. It's just because of Kikiva, they associate me with it, right? She goes, oh yeah, Kia. Yeah, you know, like, like, 5 minutes, we get into Yochi, 5 minutes, this girl comes up to me, hey, can I take a photo with you? I'm like, yeah, sure. Even like, why do you want a photo? It's weird. And then mum thought that the girl asked for mum to have a photo with her, and mum's like, oh, sorry, I don't do photos. And I'm like, Mum, she's not asking you. It was literally the funniest thing.
Your mum's been in your content though, so like maybe people will start asking her for photos
she's so cute. Yeah, she knows like I love putting my life online, and she knows it's a big part, and she's a big part of my life. So she's recently definitely come on social media. But yeah, so it's pretty cool.
What's it called? What are some of like the real biggest challenges you faced early doors? Because you just said your business wasn't hitting the ground running straight away. Yeah. What were some of the key challenges you faced early on?
So cash flow and tax, and I think everything got to do with financials. So I got done with about a $25,000 tax bill at my first 6 months of running my business, because at the time I was in a full-time job, so I was making a salary. I had my business registered as a sole trader, not a company. So I was making, let's say, 70,000. I'm just saying an example. And let's say I was making 100 grand in that financial year. I've then gone to a tax bracket of 170,000. I'm now paying 42 cents to the dollar.
Yeah. That would have cooked you.
Not putting that money away, because how on earth was a 18-year-old girl know that?
Yeah, you just wouldn't know that.
Wouldn't know. You don't learn that in school.
Yeah.
So then comes around, and I didn't have that money. Well, I did. Personally, I had to fork it out, not from my business, and had to pay that.
It doesn't even feel, when you get like that tax thing comes through, it doesn't even feel like it's
legit money.
Like, it feels like you're paying it, even though if it was coming out as it went, it wouldn't really feel like it. But when you have to outright, it's like even just if someone sends you like $100, but then 2 weeks later you got to send it back to them. It's like,
literally.
It's like, damn, this doesn't fit. This feels like I'm just paying you $100. It wasn't even yours in the first place. So 25 grand, I can imagine, would just be.
And like that was a lot in the first 6 months of business, and then I got an accountant. And then they were like, shit. And I was like, shit. And I was like, shit. Like, we got to switch this up. And I'm like, all right. So I changed over to a company, got my business fully aligned properly. And now ever since that, I'm very well on top of my finances and will never let that happen again. So I put away about 40% of what I make now, because that goes straight to the government. It's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Taxes are crazy.
That's why everyone moves to Dubai or Singapore. Put my headquarters there, never pay a cent. But it's insane.
So from the start of your business, how long did it take for you to drop your other jobs and fully commit to Kikiva?
So at the beginning I knew Kikiva was what I was like fully committed from the start. Like I was like, this is what I wanted to do. But in saying that, I did have a lot of doubt. I was like, shit, I need to go back to uni. I actually went to and from uni twice. I paused it, went back, because I was like, this isn't working out.
What were you studying?
I was doing primary teaching, not because I wanted to do it. It was just a backup.
It's a decent job.
And and I was just scared, you know. Yeah. So, sorry, I've mixed what you said again.
From the start to when you were able to drop your full-time job and other jobs.
Yeah, so I went full-time about 2 months ago, but I should have gone full-time about 6 months earlier. I was nannying, and I took into very consideration of that child's childhood, and I think I did it very well because I switched over with my sister, and I went down to like 1 day at the end of it, and I also had Alexa, who's my PA, working for me whilst I was working my full-time job. So she was practically running the business, but I was waiting for that transition over. So it was about, I'd say, a year of running my business until I went full-time, and then I also have a PA, and now employ my mum. Did the pressure just instantly rise as soon as you were like, okay, I'm fully committing to this. This is like my baby. If this doesn't work, I am unemployed. What was it like? Fuck, I really have to knuckle down. Well, no, because I put a very businessy brain on, and I have good accountants, and I saved up 3 times of my salary. So I'm secured for 3 years, basically. Yep. So no, because I knew that my business is growing so freaking much. Like, I'm getting hundreds of orders.
I just watching your stories on Instagram. I'm like, damn, like
it's growing,
it's blowing up crazy.
Literally, if it wasn't, I would be like, I'm going back to work. Yeah. But no, because I know it's the right decision, and I always, and for any business owners out there, do not lead your business. Your business will lead you. So I went on the right time because my business was leading me to full time.
Yeah. It's kind of just like organic growth now, where it's like you're not actually, you're not having to do anything crazy to grow it. It's just kind of steadily growing. I don't even spend $1,000 on marketing. Yeah, well, that's the thing with social media. You are the marketer.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've just I've got a big mentor on marketing now, so we're going to be putting tens of $1,000s a month into marketing. If I don't put even $1,000, imagine where 10,000 is going to go. Yeah. So, which is so exciting for the next 6-8 months with this mentorship. Obviously, there's a lot in marketing and a lot I can learn I don't know. So now I'm reaching out for professionals in that area.
Yeah, people who have done that for a long time.
Yeah, so I'm really excited.
How did you pick that mentor?
They work with a very, very successful brand in in Australia, and I look up to them, and I was like, this guy's marketing's genius. I get complimented on my marketing quite a lot. Like, I'm very strategic, and I was like, I want to know who's helping this person. Found it out, reached out to them. I was like, look, I've got this business. I think I can scale it to this amount a month. I just need to know your SMS, your Clivio. I need to know all your marketing strategies. There's so much around to it. Yeah. He's like, okay, and then he has a percentage of my business, but from what we can scale up to, I don't mind giving that to that person.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned you got a PA and your mum. Mm-hmm. They're the 2 people that work for you? Yeah. Full-time? Or?
So Alexa, she's like 4 days a week, and then my mum is like full-time,
Yeah, okay. So are you planning on hiring more people? Like you mentioned, you've just signed with this marketing guy or whatever for a percentage. So do you plan on bringing people in to pack orders and stuff? Or
so the marketing I just signed is a full-time position, so he worked for me full-time online. And then I've got Alexa, and then my mum. Definitely, like, as my business grows, I mean, we're already struggling as it is. My mum can't pack orders because she can't stand on, she's done her knees, so it's actually just Alexa and I at the moment, but it is manageable. But next year we'll definitely be looking to extend someone in the team, more like in the designing aspects. I'm not a designer, so I just have to guess. Yeah. So yeah, definitely.
I really want to know about sourcing, because you said we were just talking about growth a bit earlier, and how the fact that when we look at ourselves a couple of years ago, we were embarrassed. Like, how has the sourcing changed from the start to now, and how did you even start to educate yourself into sourcing products, sourcing clothes, samples, and like how to know what was the good stuff, and how many attempts that actually took you?
Yeah, so I'm with 70 manufacturers. I've spent over $50,000 on samples. Yeah,
damn. That's crazy.
Because I said I'm never going to sell something. It's not perfect. It's got my name on it at the end of the day. People say Kikiva with Kia. And I was like, I'm not going to stop until I can get the best product out here. I've definitely come a long way with manufacturers. I've just signed with 3 with really good MOQs, which is like a minimum order quantity. Mm-hmm. So the average one's about 1,000 pieces per colour, maybe mix 4 sizes. Yeah. And after sourcing, as soon as I found this manufacturer, I'm like, you're it. I want you, let's put a contract, because manufacturers will disclose, like, will tell everyone that you manufacture through them.
Yeah.
So you need to get a contract in base, because I don't want a single soul knowing who my manufacturer is, only because I don't want them to do the same sourcing as me because they're so good.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Was there much differentiation between like what you wanted as a design and what they were already offering, like when you found them? So like, did you change up what they had in place?
So every manufacturer has a catalogue.
Yeah.
Which is like very simple designs. Then you can customize their catalogue items. So a manufacturer might specialize in seamless products. So I will send in my seamless design. I mean, like a pair of shorts can't get really that complicated. I mean, all pair of shorts kind of look the same either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in pockets, lengths, it's kind of all pretty the same. And then I'll send it into them and they'll send me a sample. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. Majority and almost everything of mine is customized. I probably have 2 pieces, which is just the general t-shirt that was just off the catalogue, because I don't need to change anything about that. But yeah, I'm very picky with everything. So I'll get a sample, it might ride up or not sit properly on the waist, and I'll go and change that. Yeah.
So did you look for feedback from others, or was it mainly like, I know what I like?
Yeah.
I know other people know that, or I know that other people like what I like as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go that way. Or did you try and look for feedback from other people?
So at the beginning, for the first year, I just did everything that I liked, and it was working because it was selling so well.
Yeah.
Then recently we're coming out with a whole new era of my business next year in January, and we have given it to 5 girls to test and try. We've actually made this fabric from scratch, so it's insane. So no brand in the entire world will have this, and it'll be trademarked. Yeah. And I've gotten these girls to test it, and then we'll interview them. And yeah, so I've just recently gotten other people to test our products at the new collection.
It's crazy how fast this is going, considering you started in 2020. It's like,
I know, it's weird.
You switched on. I think.
It's momentum, bro.
Yeah, it's
like you said, it's win after win.
Like it seems like you have an idea of like what's next. Like you're not really just winging it anymore.
Oh, no.
It's like
I've got
you know what you're doing.
Strategies for everything. For example, I posted this video. I don't know if you guys seen. You can go look on my Instagram. I was going through all these shit samples we've had, and I put in a good pair. And I was like, oh, these are kind of nice. Comments swarming. Oh my God, those shorts that you said are so nice. Everyone wants those shorts now because I've showed shit things, showed one good thing. Yeah. It's all marketing. It's everything you do is marketing. And yeah, I know. I feel like I do know what I'm doing now compared to a year ago.
Yeah.
Have you got a lot of girls asked us about like there's like a scrunch bum, or then there's like a non thing.
Yeah.
Do you, so you guys have scrunch bum, I'm pretty sure.
Very, very controversial, the scrunch and non-scrunch.
Yeah, so they were saying,
what's the difference?
Do you guys? I think one makes your ass look better.
Yeah, so let me explain it to you. So you got 2 type of girls, or you got the girl that's in between. I'm the girl that's in between. So we've got the gym girl or the Pilates girl. I don't know. You guys can disagree, but I've been in this industry for a while, so I know my audience. So gym girl likes to show their glutes. We're doing gym workouts, bum workouts. You know those girls you see. Then we've got the Pilates girls that are flowing, like kind of chill vibes. They don't like the scrunch. But then you got the in between. Me, I like Pilates and gym girl. I wear both.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you're a gym girl, you more go to just scrunch because you look so good in the scrunch.
Is there a difference in the look and the feel, or just the look,
both.
or just the feel? Okay.
Both. Scrunch can only be in a seamless material. And if you would, it can be in another material, but I'm telling you, it does nothing and looks so silly.
Yeah.
But
I believe you.
Yeah.
Some of the girls what were they actually asking?
They were just asking for They were saying, do you guys offer non-scrunch?
No, so this is the new era that we're coming out with. Oh. So at the moment, we only offering scrunch because it does incredible. I've sold over 10,000 pairs of leggings.
Yeah.
And then now I've wanted to come out with the best non-scrunch leggings, what I believe I have invented.
So it's in the works.
It's in the works.
Get excited,
and
ladies.
then the marketing lead up to that is going to be huge because I would say if anyone asks about Kikiva, we're very iconic on our leggings. Like everyone said, they're very good. I don't know if you've seen our interviews.
I've seen a couple like people in the gym wearing them.
Well, I looked before, firstly at who follows you, and then who follows your brand. A lot of girls I know just follow you, so they're obviously massive fans. I've seen some people post in the story, oh my God, these new Kikiva shorts. I love them. They just love them.
I feel like
it's great.
I never like used to like you don't really notice. Well, at least I don't really notice the brand that girls are wearing in the gym, but I've started seeing like the.
I've started to look out for it.
Podcast,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's Kikiva.
Yeah, like, well, obviously a business owner, I look at what everyone's wearing. It's like my little thing I do. I don't know. I just love to see. And then like when someone is wearing my brand, I'm like, hi. I get all nervous. I'm like, I don't know what to do. But yeah. So it's a very big controversy. Like some brands are like, scrunch is tacky, blah blah blah. It's like, well, it's not, because you don't know how to market.
Well, I saw an ad for a random gym brand, and they were like, they were just saying like non-scrunch. And I'm starting to think like, what is this non-scrunch
so
and scrunch?
controversial.
People. There's like some people hate scrunch, some people will love it.
Thing is, right, you can't look at what you don't like. I hated scrunch at the beginning. I was like, I'm never doing this. Okay, put a different swing on it. Okay, if I can market this in a non-tacky way, because apparently they're tacky.
Why is it tacky? Like, why do people think it's tacky?
It
because
shows
you're
your
showing
bum.
your ass.
Yeah, you're showing your bum more.
I mean, have we seen gym clothes since like in the last 10 years? Come on.
I actually...
Yeah, literally.
Come on.
I work at a gym, and there was 2 girls I was working with, and they said, can you give me your feedback on this? And it was a girl saying, ladies, it's time to throw out the revealing shorts, the revealing leggings.
Oh
Let's look at this. And she was wearing a skirt in a gym. And when I tell you, I said,
that's something different.
well, I said, surely when you're going to be doing maybe adductors or abductors, you're going to be seeing what's
RDLs or
anything.
Yeah.
And this was a short skirt, and I said, I'm sorry, like whatever you wear in the gym, unless you're wearing full track pants, it's going to be revealing some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
That just looked awful.
Yeah. I've never seen someone wear a skirt.
I need to try and find the photo, and I'll send it to you. It was, I don't know if it's...
I definitely think like gym clothes now are like, I mean, gym culture has grown rapidly. Yeah. So obviously activewear is part of like that gym culture. But also I think nowadays, like even as guys, it's like you get a new gym fit, it's like you feel like $1 million.
Yeah, motivated.
And I think, and girls, it's probably even more because it's like that empowering for women type thing. And it's like if you have a new pair of leggings, I can imagine like you're just like, Mars.
Literally, like, you feel so good about yourself.
We always 100%. Said look good, feel good. Like I get a haircut. I feel good. I've had sleep. I've eaten well, and then I like the way I look in terms of the clothes I wear. Yeah, your workout's actually going to be a lot better.
Exactly.
100%.
I did a big statistic. I went out and interviewed girls and said, "Are you a scrunch or non-scrunch girl?" And it come back 70% of girls only wear scrunch, 20% only wear non, and 10% wear both. And I said, this is such a big market I'm missing here. So I mean, like, I was like, I'm going to do it because there's so many girls that love this. Yeah. Even though at the time I didn't like it.
It's funny how before we put the story out and people said like this scrunch, I didn't even know there was a difference. I've been single forever.
That's so funny.
We're learning so much when it comes to women's clothes, because for men's, it's very basic.
I know.
It's an oversized tee, it's a compression tee, and there's not much further out from that.
And just shorts.
Yeah. Shorts, stringers, blah, blah, blah. Because there is so much, you're going to look to hire someone for like R&D and everything like that, like research and development into different avenues you can go in. Because like you said, there is Pilates, there is this, there is that for women's clothing.
Honestly, I haven't thought about that, but I am going into like men's next year, but I want to stay just activewear. I find that a lot of brands these days try and do everything, and it's very confusing for the consumer.
It's like staying alone.
100%.
It's like, why are you coming out with like 100 different things? Like, I thought you were an activewear brand, or I thought you were a dress brand. It's very confusing, and also it's like, if you're doing all this stuff, is it even good? You know, kind of thing. So I do want to stay in the one lane of activewear. I do reach out to like hoodies. We're very big on our hoodies. Like, I would say
hoodies is almost part of activewear though. Like, people wear hoodies to the
gym. Pop covers and everything like that.
And stuff, and like accessories and stuff. But I haven't really thought about anything expanding as of yet.
What does the men's side of things look like?
Yeah, so it's pretty basic. We'll just have a men's over tee, and then shorts, because I've had to get a designer to come in that I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So I don't know measurements because I'm not a designer. So I've had to, it's pretty basic until I can actually hire a designer and then come forward with more designs. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. Very exciting. Because you are the face of your brand, are there any days, like we look at your Instagram, you post that many stories because that's how you're successful at the end of the day. Are there any days where you're just exhausted and you do not feel like it?
Oh,
like posting on Instagram, doing this, doing that.
So like all the time, like sometimes just not feeling it. And like, yeah, definitely. Like I have a lot of down days. It's stressful owning a business. Like you just get done with bills and problems, like manufacturing issues, you know. And like one time I didn't post my story for one day and like people messaged me like, are you okay? I'm like, oh my God, I love you guys.
Yeah. That's so cool that you've got that community there though, that really do
I'm
care.
Like, I'm all good.
It's also like if you go on a holiday, you're not really getting paid well, I mean, you got the business still running, but it's like you're not there. So it's like, that's not a paid holiday when you go away, or like when you just went to Japan.
I worked every day in Japan.
Yeah,
and I just wanted to come home to my business. I don't know. I'm just like, no, it was pretty insane actually. I was like, my partner and I were talking about it. I was like laying in bed and there's orders coming through. He's like, oh my God, it's so cool. You can just like make money. You're just chilling on the bed right now. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, but I'm working. I worked like 4 or 5 hours every day still.
You almost just never stop working too. Because even when you like, you're probably going to sleep and it's like, you're just like anxiety. You're like,
first thing I think about is Kikiva, and last thing I think about is Kikiva. There's not an hour that goes day in the bar that you don't think about your business. But honestly, I wouldn't change it for the world. People are like, how can you deal with that? Well, it's like,
it's your baby.
Yeah, my business, I don't just go to work and come from work. My work is my life. Like, it's I don't know how to explain it.
And you love it. It's like if you love doing something, it doesn't feel like work.
I'm driving in the car and I'm calling my dad every 2 minutes. Dad, look at this genius idea. He's like, yeah, like it's just all like, you know, like I just want to think about,
How do you manage that work-life balance though?
I don't.
You just work. It's grind set.
100% work, 0% life.
My mentor, so he owns a couple multi-million-dollar business, and he's like, oh, you work a lot. I'm like, yeah, everyone says I work a lot, but like I don't as such burn out. Like I crave a holiday, or I crave going for dinner with my boyfriend, but you know, like those things. But he goes, yeah, don't worry about what people say about that, because Kikiva brings me joy. It brings me fulfillment. The more I do it, the more I feel fulfilled. Whereas if I was going to a 9 to 5, oh yeah, I would get so burnt out. But when I go to my work, I feel great.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Your work isn't your work. That's the thing.
Yeah. And that's what people don't understand. I'm like, sorry, I'm working, and like I work every weekend. I go out and I go to the shopping centers. I put up posters. I'm going to gyms. I'm interviewing girls. I love it.
Yeah, like, you're having fun. It's like
So like I don't burn out, but I do go through creative slumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone would have times where you just kind of like, I just want to watch Netflix all day. Like, everyone has days where you're just like, I can't be arsed.
Definitely. So, like I look forward to going in bed at the end of the night, having a shower and going to bed. You know, like I'm not like
the everything
the
shower.
skincare routine,
the
night routine.
Literally. So yeah, that's kind of.
Who are those key people that you look to really just lean on in those tough times?
My dad, he like knows the ins and out of my business. I just had to pay for this marketing employee, and it was quite a lot of money, and I'm like, Dad, I'm scared, you know, like what I do, he goes, okay, let's not think about what you can lose, let's think about what you can build here, you know. Businesses is risk, and when I feel uncomfortable, I know I'm growing.
Have your parents come from a business? That's the thing. So but they're so good at relating to you, and they know who you are as a person, so they don't have to be there for that work aspect. They can be there for just, they know what works for you as a person to make you calm down and make you stop stressing.
Dad knows nothing about business, and so does my mum. My mum, I can't remember, she hasn't worked in a very long time, but that's because of other things. But no, definitely not. He's like, I don't even know what that means. But I like to talk about something.
I think a lot of the time it's just getting what's in your brain. Like once you speak about it, like, I mean, at least for myself, if I talk about something, like 9 times out of 10, I don't even really need advice. Like, cause I just need to like speak so my brain can make sense of what I'm actually saying, kind of thing.
A lot of the times I actually just keep it to myself, because I don't have any friend that has a business. It's very lonely. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I work all day at my computer. I'm at home all day. Like, you know, like it is very lonely. I don't have that business type of community as of yet. Like, I don't have any friends that own a business. I don't really know anyone my age that's kind of doing anything similar to that. So it can get really lonely in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really like, if I've got a really big issue with a manufacturer, no one's going to understand. I get really
you
like,
can't really get it
like,
right. So who
you
do
know?
you ask?
Yeah.
So do you have like a set workspace outside of home?
So no, I work from home and I've got every home and a storage unit, but I am and will be buying a warehouse very soon.
Yeah.
I've just been looking for the correct one, and I just got approved from my financial. You got to get approved for everything. I can't just go and buy a nice car or a nice thing. I've got to get approved. It's just finding the right space, and it's something that is so expensive. I don't want to jump into it at the moment.
Yeah. I feel like once you do that, you're going to feel so much better.
I agree. Like, I'll go to work.
To differentiate the two places.
Yeah.
Work isn't home. Home isn't work.
Yeah, your work-life balance will
just
change.
go so
Because like when you're at home, it's like if you're sitting in your room and like you're like, I could just go pack orders like right now and start
I
watching
do.
this. So then you'll just start packing orders, and it's like you probably shouldn't pack orders. Like
after dinner, I go into my office.
Yeah,
like it's so
You feel like you never can relax.
Yeah,
if it's all at your house.
So I'm very excited for the whole warehouse journey. It's just really hard finding one because if you lease, you can't change it, and you want to like.
Yeah, what are they trying to sting you lease for? Like how many years?
5 years.
Is that like minimums you found?
Basically 5 years.
Wow.
So if I sign a lease for 5 years, usually pay the first. I would say, I personally would pay a couple of years up front. What happens if my business goes bankrupt? You know what I mean? Like,
or even it could go the other way too.
Exactly.
Like how big's the warehouse?
200 square meters.
Is that big? I feel like that's big.
It's pretty normal. It's pretty normal size. It's not like a huge business, but it's not small business. It's a moderate.
Yeah.
But you can grow upwards because it's quite high.
Okay, that's good then.
But with warehouses, if you're on a lease, say if I want to make it all to my branding, when I give it back, I'll have to completely strip the whole thing, which will cost me like 100 grand when I give it back.
Yep.
Why do that? Why I should buy one and then I can just do it myself and I own land. Yeah.
Can you buy? Is there actually warehouses you can buy?
So you can buy land, just build a shed, but you can buy warehouses. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Really,
I feel like land would be expensive though.
Not out in like Wangara and where they all are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy like Osmond Park. You're looking millions. But all the way out there, no, not too bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Have you ever thought about going into retail stores as well, like with your products?
Oh, it's an interesting one. My demand's so high online. Like I have thousands of girls waiting on that online site. That is what like grows my business so much, and I think that, it's controversial, but I think if I was to open a store, that demand is no longer there. You can roll into that store whenever you want, any time of the day.
I tend to agree. I've like
Yeah.
I study business right now, and like I did a case study. I think retail stores are dying.
They are.
Like, you remember Dick Smith, like the shop, gone. Like all the big like retail stores, they're all starting to shut up because it's like people can just buy online, and as a consumer, it's like, why even bother going somewhere when you can just buy it online?
Exactly.
I feel like you potentially lose that. Say I think it's different. If your clothing was in a Rebel Sport, I think you completely lose the relationship between you and your customer because there's everything else is in that store. But if you had a Kikiva store and like you have trusted people there who are aligned in how they operate as an actual human being and they're able to connect with customers like you do, I feel like you wouldn't lose that relationship, but it would be so tough for yourself, example, when you're so
like retail store to rent a retail store in like a carousel is ridiculous.
But even like we know some people who like some like privacy clothes. They're like a men's streetwear brand. They've got like a really small store in the city. And then you've got, what's the Street X as well? Yeah, it's still so small. So like with how much clothing you're going through, you can fit stuff all in there.
Literally. Yeah. And overhead costs. So you're thinking strata fees, rent, insurance. You can't open a store without insurance. You've got employee insurance. So many it's just not worth it. Not
when e-commerce is like I feel like owning or having a retail store is almost a point where you're like, the business is so set up and it's kind of a thing you want to have. Yeah. Where you can just go visit a cool store. Like,
we do pop-ups.
Yeah.
And like I just don't feel the need that a retail, I just don't think it would suit my business in this time being. Maybe in 10 years it might.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's like even Gymshark, they probably have I mean, they don't have any stores here.
They've got stores in the UK, in Europe, and stuff like that. Because that's where obviously,
but also
it's
like
based.
they popped them up super late.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like one of those things where you're just like, we got millions of dollars. Let's just have a store.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Like
that would be a good problem to have.
It's good brand awareness. I don't know. Oh, that's Kikiva. Like there you go. That'd be pretty sick though. If I ever see a Kikiva store in a carousel, I'll be walking in.
Yeah. Are you because you are growing so organically and so quickly? Is it hard to know where you want to grow next? Like this, because there's so many different facets of the business. Whether it's hiring another employee, adding a retail store, bringing in a new line. How do you make those decisions of where to grow and when?
So I have a lot of goals, and I have like financial goals of what we hit monthly. I know I want to buy a warehouse by a certain date. I'll know when I need to employ someone new. Yeah. And then once we get a warehouse, it's like, okay, if we're doing, let's just say, example, $300,000 a month. Okay, let's scale to now doing $700,000. Let's scale to doing 4 pop-ups. Okay, let's now reach over east. We covered over east. Now we're going international. There's so much more. Like we're just doing one step at a time. It's definitely warehouse, designer, and then scaling up in your business. Yeah. So that's kind of where it goes. I pretty know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Fully employ my dad and my mum now, but have a lot of my family, I think, would be involved. Yeah.
What is your mum's role in the business?
Yeah, sorry, it's a funny one. So my mum, for 6 years ago, got diagnosed with behavioural dementia, and then that came off with anxiety and depression. So she's had a really hard 6 years of her life. And only recently she's like kind of turned her life around. Now that I've gone full time, I can spend more time with her. She doesn't actually do like much on Kikiva because she can't. Yeah. But she like cooks and cleans for me. Like I wouldn't hire someone for that. Yeah. It's just because it's my mum, and she'll pack orders, and then she basically runs anything that I need done. So if mum, can you go office works and grab these? Mum, can you do this? Like it's almost like a bit of like a PA style like role, but obviously it's like your mum. Yeah. So and like I wouldn't hire someone else if that wasn't my mum.
If it wasn't you, you're pretty much doing it like out of love for your mum. You're trying to,
and she loves it, and like she's just like does everything for me really in terms of that. She'll do that now when I get employed. She'll do all my bookkeeping, so I'll show her how to do all that, and then I want to get to calling customer service. So that is where that's like in a year's time when we have like a lot of things like that. She can do like all the phone calls and stuff. Yeah, so it's just like growing and showing her little bits and bobs.
Credit to you, and it just shows who you are as a person, because especially coming from that big of a family where you may not have like received that attention. I'm not going to speak for you, but like didn't have that really close family bond growing up, like you mentioned, to still want to give back to your family. I feel like definitely. It's just a credit to you. So it's really,
it's almost like
really
retiring
good to see.
your mum, but like also I feel like when your parents retire, I almost feel like it's not as good because they don't have things to do every day.
You're giving her
you're almost like giving your mum like purpose, and like it's not like a real hectic full on job. I mean, it's maybe it is. But based off what you're saying, I presume it's chill.
She likes it.
Yeah.
She helps me with all my TikToks and my videoing and cleans my room every day. Like it's the best. I don't cook anymore.
Yeah, well the cooking thing is elite.
It's and like my partner Jake, he loves it. He goes, she's better cooker than you. And I'm like, yeah, mum, you're staying. And like even in the future, like if I was, I'm not saying I'm going to have kids anytime soon, but like my mum would be such a good carer for my children in the future. Like we want her probably to move in with us. She's just so good, and it honestly warms my heart. Like there was times where I thought I was gonna lose my mum, and now to have her to work for me happy is honestly the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it's probably worth like every cent.
Every cent. My goal in my life is to retire both of my parents. Like that's just like my end goal. So
that's like everyone's, but I think you're on track. I think to do it more than a lot of other people. Yeah. With the growth thing that Dill mentioned, do you find like the amount to order, like units, because you're growing so fast, and it's like, say you order 1,000 leggings and then it sells out, but then there's like 5,000 people who want them, and you're like,
it's so hard. Like, that's probably the biggest thing that has held me back from growing even more is my stock because of self-doubt. Imagine spending 50 grand on bloody shorts.
And then not selling out.
Okay? Imagine Imagine if that got lost at sea. You know?
We sold like 200 hoodies just for the podcast, and that was stressful. Ordering 200 because we didn't
That's
know.
what I mean.
Because we spent like $5,000 each. I remember I told my mum, and she was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, it's scary.
And I was like,
terrifying,
it's fine. Like, I've got faith. I've got faith.
Yeah, and then there's a little voice saying, mate, you wish, you know?
Literally.
And like, if I was to do it again, I would just buy so much more stock, like so much. But I didn't have the money at the time.
It's also the capital too. It's like, what, if you put a $50,000 purchase order, it's like, well, probably didn't have $50,000.
Yeah. Exactly.
When you first put the orders in.
Exactly. You got to build. Remember, I started my business, so I started with $10,000. And I've spent all of that on stock. Like I wasn't given a platform. I haven't been given, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then once I sorted that, I then spent that money to buy more stock. And then once, you know what I mean? So it keeps on going like that.
It's definitely not as easy. Like when people say, because you would have people probably think it's easy to run a business.
People assume that I've been given the money or I've been given it. Like,
worked your ass off for it.
I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah. I was like, you don't know anything. A lot of people just assume that, or like,
people love to assume because they couldn't picture themselves putting in the work to get it done themselves.
It's also like if you look at your like an Instagram, because it's like a highlight reel, people be like, grew up rich.
Yeah. Or I get it all the time, like, definitely so rich. I'm like, mate, I paid for my own school fees.
Yeah. It's like I moved out at 15.
Like, actually, I am rich in terms of I had a roof over my head. Like, I think that is rich. And I think I had food on the table. So, like, that is already so privileged.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about basic needs.
Yeah,
which is,
yeah.
People take for granted that.
Exactly, yeah.
But, like, you didn't have any better circumstances than 95% of the rest of the population.
I couldn't go and get like a mini 10K loan from my parents or anything. Like, I had to like work for it. But I think honestly, if I didn't have that drive and that passion, my business wouldn't be here. Yeah, I think that's so important. Yeah.
Are you looking at doing any sponsored athletes anytime soon?
Oh yeah, so we've got a couple of, or not athletes, influencers in mind, but you have to pay them like a salary.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm growing as it is. I want to expand my team before I expand to an influencer, and that comes under marketing. So when my marketing budget grows, that's when I can get ambassadors on. But you have to be so specific of who you get on. Like, it's I'm watching a couple girls right now. There's like 3 in my head, and I'm just watching them kind of closely, like what they're wearing and what they're saying, you know. And people could have 100K, but they have 1% engagement.
Yeah. Well,
that's what's so hard with social media now, is people have bought, like, so many people buy followers, and then also it's like with the bought followers, you've also got people who like, you can hide likes, so you can't even you can't just click on their profile. You can give a little scroll, but it's like you don't know what their engagement's like because Instagram hides it now. And then it is pretty hard to work out who's actually got like authentic people who support them, or it's just, they paid 10,000 followers and they get 55 likes.
Or they post a bum photo and then it spikes to get 50K followers. But these are like, you know, not really people in terms of like supporters.
They're probably just dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy it.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It's
when I was doing research for this, I watched the podcast. Do you know Christian Guzman?
No,
he is like the owner and CEO of AFLW, which is a massive brand. It's worldwide. It's massive. It's like a Gymshark. But he got asked about sponsored athletes and whatnot, and he said one of his biggest ambassadors, creators, influencers had 14K when when he signed them, which is crazy in the grand scheme of things of like where the brand is as itself. Like, you see some of the other athletes, they have like hundreds of K, like a million, blah, blah, blah. But this person had 14K, but they had such a strong like core supporter base, and he just loved for like what they stood for as a person, how they acted. Because so many people, there's so many influencers out there who post the same shit. They post the exact same like motivational videos, and it's just like they're all copying one another. You really need to stand out to be caught by a brand, especially someone like you who is genuine and has that story behind themselves and the company.
Because
they have to align.
Yeah, this person will also then become the face of my brand. There's going to be a point where I'm not going to be on social media anymore. That my goal is I don't need to even be in the office, and my business will run.
Do you like the like fame, I guess, that comes? Because it is like a decision you got to make, because it's like, do you want to become like a someone with 1 million followers and it's like everywhere you go is photos and pictures, or do you want to just be like a rich business person?
I want my business to be famous, and I want to be behind my business. I don't care about the followers on my personal page. I find that I've grown even more since I don't even care. Like, I just post whatever now.
It's authentic.
It's like, I'm like, hey guys, what's up? You know, but before I was like, I'm so cared about the numbers. Now I'm just like, if my business doing good, I'm G. You know, like that's 100%. How I'm like. And like, it's already come with that. Like, I'll go to the shops and I see like 10 or 5 girls wearing Kikiva, and they'll come up to me. Like, it's kind of, but I think there'll be a stage in my life, I reckon, where I'll be like, I'll have social media girls, and then I can take a step back. But then I'll always be, I don't know.
You seem like a really...
I feel like you like the... well, it's hard. Like, from your page, it's like you're in content and like
yes,
doing I think you enjoy that, like from what I've seen.
Yes, I do. So, like, I love showing my life, and I don't think I ever will stop. Like, I just love it. Like,
which I think you'll grow naturally.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I feel like you might. I mean, maybe it'll be a decision when you're like 30. You're like, oh,
yeah.
You know,
I don't think it will be a decision. I don't think it really will be. I think it's going to happen naturally. Like, I follow Ben Francis.
I think the natural
he's the CEO of Gymshark, and he's like, obviously all the athletes do that type of stuff, the marketing, blah, blah, blah. But he really likes to speak about the business side of things. And I feel like you've got that same mindset, you love learning. I mean, because you've taught yourself how everything works. And I feel like as you get older and as you start to mature more with your business, you would want to like take a different direction with your content.
Yeah, so I want to build my own personal brand, but with Kikiva. Yeah. So like, I'm not known for other brand deals. Brands reach out to me, but I'm not interested. I don't do my Instagram for that. I don't do it for influencing. I do it as a not marketing.
You're just documenting Kikiva, which
grows it.
It's authentic.
And people see Kikiva. I go to the gym and this girl is wearing my brand, and she's looking at, I was like, I like your shorts, and she didn't even know who I was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
That's probably, in a way, it's like a cool feeling.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh, I like yours too. I'm like, yeah, I just had a conversation. Like, I didn't even know. I was like, pretty cool brand, you know? Like, so like, I want to just go like that. I don't want to,
Yeah. I just think naturally, I think you'll probably you might find that you'll just gain followers just because like as the brand grows, you'll grow. I think they're like
interlinked. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
In a perfect world, according to you, what does Kikiva look like in 5 years' time?
Oh, so I'll have the most aesthetically pleasing warehouse. So it's going to have, I already know, so it's going to have massive black big panel windows, big Kikiva.
Do you have like sorry to interrupt, do you have like a colour? Like
black and white.
Black and white is your colour.
Is our signature logo in colour. So it'll be black with the white logo, and then our logos at the K, they'll be in 3D right up the top there.
Love it. I can see it.
I can see it.
Pull up in my dream car, chill out, go into office.
What's the dream car? Yeah. You can say it.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it's
a dream car.
Is it white and black as well?
No, it's white. I have a meeting in next week. I'm getting a Model Y Tesla. Model X.
Elite.
You save I think it's like $370 a month on Teslas. Highly recommend. Right. And the government gives you a grant.
Really?
Yeah, 10 grand because you are supporting sustainability.
Climate change, yeah.
Damn.
So go get Tesla, guys. And actually,
I'd love to go get Tesla.
No, not in that way. Honestly, I couldn't afford it if it's going to be a business car.
No, it's sick.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But what else does it
kick even
look like in 5 years' time?
Exactly. Yeah, so going there, I'll have all my offices down the line. So it'll be like my marketing team, social girls, designing thing. I'm just like the overlooker. I'm just chilling.
Do you always want to be Perth-based?
Yes. Yep. I thrive in Perth, and I think people really connect to that. They want to support Perth. And I think if I was to ever go to Melbourne, there's established brands there. There's not, I wouldn't say it's an established brand here.
They all leave. They all go to Gold Coast.
Right? Imagine if you become the biggest established brand in Perth. Like, that is my goal. Like, everyone's wearing this brand. It's known everywhere you go, you know, and we're on the track to that with a lot of work. Anyways, a whole team, I want to have like a whole warehouse. I want to be doing regular pop-ups. And it's really like, I'm so community based. Like I'm always interacting with my customers, constantly interacting. Yeah, that's where I see it.
And in 5 years' time, what does life look like in an ideal world for you as a person?
So I want to be living in a house that I've bought, ideally either renovated or whatever, but build one with my current partner. We've been together for 5 years. So we've been together for 10 years by
Great
then.
effort.
So you met
Great
him
effort.
16?
Yeah, I met him 3 months
Is
into.
he an Esperance boy or no?
No.
Perth boy?
So Jake had played a very big part into my life. So I met him 3 months into living alone in Perth, and he was like, this girl's a bit crazy. He played a very big, he gave me that family life that I couldn't have because of living away from home. Yeah, and he's helped me so much. He's insane, really.
Big ups, Jakey.
Yes,
Big ups, Jake.
he's good.
Big ups, Jake.
Yeah, so
You're going to have to put a ring on it soon, brother.
Yeah, I know, 5 years. I
Time's ticking, guys.
no, but it's interesting. So we talked about it just quickly. So we met when we were 16, right? It's a quite young age. I don't know anyone that's
Very
been in a
young.
relationship for that long. And I think
And
that
still going strong.
Still going strong. Like we have our own, we've got shared bank accounts in terms of the house deposit. Like we see our lives together, right?
Yeah.
If we were to get engaged, because it's definitely something on the topic, because we've been together for 5 years, it's like we're actually 27, because the general person would get in a relationship around 23, 20, around then.
Yeah,
So
early 20s.
Yeah, so because everyone's like, oh, you're only thinking about that? It was like, well, we're basically 27. Do you know what I mean? Or 25 kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I also think people put too much pressure on. You
Yeah.
have to get engaged. It's like, why?
Exactly.
If we want to, we will. If we don't, we don't.
I'm the same.
It's like you're like, when we found out you were 21, I was shook.
Really? Everyone actually is like, they're like, really? I'm
Well,
like,
I mean, it's just like you're so successful for 21, and
Very
also
mature.
you switched on.
Thanks.
But also, I feel like you were probably
I had to be.
You
at a
had to
young
mature,
age.
yeah.
just because moving out, but also like if you've been in a relationship since 16, it's probably mature, because
Yeah.
most relationships don't last
Yeah,
after
so-
that.
Exactly.
So-
So I think I was just lucky enough to find the person I'm supposed to be with, and I always say I was blessed, because I don't know, there's been times where I was stuck at work and he would come drive 40 minutes to come pick me up. I didn't have a license at 16. He taught me how to drive. He moved all my houses.
He's been
for
there
me.
from day one.
Day
He's
one.
a real
The whole
one.
business grow.
He was watched it, and he will be working for me one day. He knows it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to come in? He's like, I couldn't think of anything worse, but he will.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah.
that's sweet. What does he do?
He works on submarines. He has his dream
wow.
job. So
Wow.
we don't really talk. I don't really talk about Kikiva with him.
Yeah.
It's really weird in that sense, but we just come together at the end of the day and we just talk
enjoy each
about
other's company.
life. Yeah. He does metal fabricating on the Navy submarines.
True.
Yeah. So he's working on all his goals. And I think that's so good that we have our own separate careers, and then we come together and
Yeah, I reckon it almost could be if he was working for you. It's like you kind of just get sick of each other.
Oh,
So at the
yeah.
end of the day, you're just like, ugh.
And sometimes I'll get him to do little things. He actually packed all my orders for the first year. And oh, mate, some of the worst farts come out of that, because I'm like, why are you stubbing that out? Why are you doing that? And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, well, you want me to do this? And I'm like,
You're a bit of
You
a
know?
perfectionist, you reckon?
Or when it comes to your business,
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
everyone is,
my
yeah.
poor PA. Just ask her about if I'm a perfectionist, mate.
we should give her a call. Just be like, off the record. Like,
Yeah.
You can if you want. She's working right now. Nah, she would know. I feel bad for her sometimes. Nah, she's right. I'm just very this is how I have it, and I don't settle for less.
CEO shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll find those people
Yeah.
who are exactly the same in that fact that
Yeah.
want the best for the
I
business.
feel like you kind of have to be if you're a CEO.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you can't really.
I'm
just-
also very reasonable. I've just had I've had shit bosses in my life.
The way
Just
you said that
justify it,
was
guys,
like, I swear I'm reasonable. Like, we didn't say you weren't. No.
I'm alright. I'm just very. I wouldn't say I'm strict. I'm just I like things done in a specific way.
Yeah,
It
of
is.
course.
It is a job at the end of the day, though.
Yeah.
Like she's working for you. Like so, your boss telling you what to do, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I think with every small business as well, every owner finds it so hard to give away a bit of the control.
Oh, it's
To
been the
take their
biggest struggle for
foot
me.
off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you've done things how you like it. Like you said, you designed everything how you wanted at the start. And you're only going to delegate more as the business
Exactly.
grows. And I suppose you just learn how to deal with that.
Yeah.
As you
letting
both grow.
someone, now that I have a marketing, giving that responsibility, it's like, it's kind of like, shit, like, I got to.
When it goes well, it's weight off your shoulders.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
When you see it's going well, like, you're like, I gave this away, like, or this part.
It's going to be fine.
And it's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, like Alexa, she's doing the whole thing. She ran Kikiva the entire time I was in Japan. Like,
is your assistant's name Alexa?
Yes.
Like the
Siri.
Surely you play.
Alexa.
Surely you do that all the time.
I don't. She doesn't like it, so I don't do it.
I would be doing that all
Poor thing.
day.
I think she's got it her whole life, so I'm like, I've never said it, but no, she's amazing. Yeah.
No, that's good. Is she a friend or just?
No, I just interviewed her one day, and I really liked her, and she studying marketing business, and I said, okay, well, you can get experience from my business. And she just is like the general, she just knows, she's the only person that would know how to run Kikiva.
What was that like, the interviewing process? Obviously you were did you interview a few people or was it just her?
It was the only one. I didn't have time. At the time, I did not have time. And I was like, yep, you're great, cool, let's go. My business was going from 0 to 100. Like, we went from getting 100 orders a month to 300 a day. And I was working full time.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, come here right now. Let's go. And now I will get a HR manager that will come me freelance and sit and help me interview people. Yeah. Like, it's all learning process. Like, I wouldn't do that again. But lucky she's good. Yeah. So
do you think it feels easier now running the business than, like, say, 2021?
Oh, yeah. I had no idea what I was doing.
Just everything would have felt frantic almost.
Like, I know everything ins and outs of my accounting. I know fully ins and outs of my manufacturing. I know
You're a businesswoman now.
Yeah, I'm so confident in myself. I know how to scale my business now. I know how to market.
Yeah.
People copy me every freaking day, my marketing, and it frustrates me. Go get your own ideas. That's why my business is done the way, is because we sit there and we brainstorm.
It's a compliment, though.
Yeah, it is.
If they're copying you, you're doing something right. So.
It's annoying though, but yeah, it's a compliment.
Druzy said it, imitation isn't flattery. It's just annoying me, bro.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
I
do love my lyrics.
Like,
I do.
He'll just start quoting.
It's true though, bro. It's true. If you don't listen to anyone, listen to Druzy. Listen to Druzy.
I agree, but nothing you can do.
Have you seen any like relationships change as you've started to become successful? Whether like friendships,
friends take advantage,
family,
give me clothes,
anything like that. Has anyone changed?
Oh yeah.
You don't have to name specifics, obviously, but like.
Yeah.
Are we disappointed in those people?
Yeah, I told a few people how much money I was making, and I shouldn't have told those people. And they, like, we'll go out for lunch. Oh, Kia will pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, and then I get asked for a lot of loans, or I have like, oh, you have a spare 10K, or I'm like, okay, I'm not like, I pay myself bare minimum.
Yeah.
Kikiva, that's not my money. I'm a trustee of Kikiva. I don't think people understand. When I pay myself, I have to go through a payroll.
Yeah, you're paying a salary, right?
A salary.
Yeah.
I pay myself the bare minimum because I don't want to take away from my business until I will know when the right time, until I can pay myself as much money as you know what I mean?
That's what I think, like, a lot of people don't really understand the the details and the, like, when you go into a business, there's so much that goes on. It's not as simple as like, we made $300 grand, and it's like I've made $300
all that's
grand.
in the account.
No, it's like I pay myself $45 grand a year or whatever it is, and it's like,
say if we've made a revenue of 1 million, right? I don't have $1 million in my bank account.
Yeah.
That's a revenue of one. I've got lawyer fees, accountant fees. I have branding worldwide, tax fees, GST, everything. I'm paying 3 employees. Paying myself,
it's almost like
it's so much that comes into it.
It's where you came from too. When someone asks you for 10 grand, it's not even in your best interest.
I know. I'm just like,
it's like I had to work, bust my ass at 4 months to save up 10 grand. And
I'm
it's
a
like,
very generous person, though.
And that's probably why I take advantage.
If you speak to anyone would say, yeah, like. I just love loving people. Like my mum, I really went all out today for her birthday. But I don't know.
She's your mum. She deserves to be spoiled, though.
Yeah. But I've definitely stopped friendships over it. And I would say 3 friends.
They do say when you get successful, your circle gets way smaller.
I have one best friend.
For the right reasons, though.
Yeah, Sinead, that I met through Kikiva. Like, we're literally the same person. And then I've got other really good friends.
Was that the one you went to Japan with?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then, like, I call 3 people.
We always speak about it, like our circle is getting smaller and smaller every year, but it's not even like, it doesn't even have to be like, you don't even have to break friendships up in a harmful manner. You just sort of distance yourself and you just grow apart. And it's not like I don't dislike you, it's just we don't align anymore. You're living a completely different life to me, and good for you. Like, it's, if you enjoy that, good for you. But like, I just can't relate to you whatsoever. And it can be tough for the other person to, because they don't think that way. Yeah. They're not thinking that way. They're thinking like, why can't we still be friends? But it's not like that anymore.
If you think about your whole life, you go through best friends. Like my best friend now was not the best friend I had in year 1. My best friend in year, you know what I mean? Me. People come into your life for a reason, I think, and then they'll leave. Not everyone's supposed to stay. And I think people come into your life for a reason, and I think your best friends at the time of your life, like I hope that Sinead and I be best friends. I think we will. I think she come into the point of my life when she was supposed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like there's less change now. So like, if you meet someone,
yes, I agree. Yeah,
like say you met her last year, it's like you're not going to change as much. Say from year 1 to now,
it's a lot.
Crazy change.
Puberty, everything.
This,
that.
And like your morals and things, but from the ages of say like 18 to 25 probably is when like your most moral, like after 25 you don't change much. Like your morals are the same. Like you're pretty, you don't change.
You know what you believe in.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not going to alter what your beliefs are that much now. So you would probably align with her beliefs.
Exactly.
So I think that's why like friendships, when you meet them older, it probably lasts a bit longer.
I agree. I think less friends is better, and then pour into those friendships.
And that friend group will grow because like your Sinead, was it? Yeah. Yeah, if she gets a partner.
Exactly,
it's like there's another friend.
Spirals.
And then you end up meeting people that way. So
no, it's been a journey, but I'm very content with my circle.
I think that's a beautiful way to end it, Ev, to be honest. I've loved this episode. Thank you so much for coming.
I've learned so much.
So have I.
As well.
Same. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Listening.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would be very cute. Oh, we could ask like what advice would you give to people who want to start?
Oh, okay, yeah. Don't start a business to make money. Because I guarantee you probably won't until 5 years. If you don't have a passion, you're not solving a problem, I'll say rethink. Because there's multiple times where I could have just thrown Kikiva in and taken the money and be like, that's it, I'm done. If I didn't have that passion, I wouldn't be here. Work hard. Like, don't get other people to do your hard work for you. Work so hard. Like, nothing comes from easy work and chilling on the couch. So I think that's get an accountant and start as a company.
And make sure you pay taxes.
And make sure you pay taxes. Make sure you pay taxes.
Kia Buckley on Instagram. Kikiva everywhere else. Is it Kikiva Collection?
It's Kikiva Collection, but we're slowly dropping the collection, so it's just Kikiva, but it's Kikiva.collection.
Do you have any new products coming out? Or?
Yeah, we do. In a couple of weeks, we have our Impact Scrunch collection to all the girlies that love scrunch.
We know what that is now.
Yeah, custom.
Make my ass look good.
Custom colours.
Will it make my ass look better?
Oh, yeah. No, it would actually.
Imagine we pulled up, bro.
That'd actually be good marketing.
Yeah, it would be. Like, you know, but
I think I'm getting kicked out of the gym straight away.
I was literally going to say to you, like, you should bring leggings. And imagine we were just wearing them.
Do you know what? Everything is that. I always like try and think of a marketing thing. Like, imagine just rolling in here with the leggings and I do a funny TikTok. It'd be good.
It would go viral. But yeah, I was going to suggest you should get like guys to wear them and just be like,
this is feeling good, like a mimic of our ones we do. Yeah.
Love
I agree.
That. Love that. So Kikiva Collection everywhere. Kia Buckley. Is there anything else you want to shout out to the people listening?
Thanks for listening, guys. And thanks for coming on this journey. Yeah, it's been great.
I will definitely be following along. 100%. I love what you're doing, love what you stand for.
I'm a pair of scrunch, bro.
I'm a pair of scrunch, bro. If we ever get loved up, I think I'll get my girlfriend a pair of scrunch.
Yeah.
Pair of something.
If is a big question.
When the day comes.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Rate us 5 stars and go follow Kia on Instagram.
Amazing. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Amazing. Oh my God, guys, that
Thank
was
you
so
much
good.
for that. Yeah.